So, welcome back to your very own side quest. We hope your week has been well as always, and we are so happy to have you back. We also hope you enjoyed the recent release of Descend to Home's End, which we invite you to watch to uncover the thrilling secrets and mysteries of this unassuming little town.
So true.
You know what? I don't really want to talk any longer. I don't.
Oh.
So how about we just hop into this episode's topic?
Episode's over.
Two
Bye.
people.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. See ya. Bye.
Roll credits.
No, don't click out. Don't click out. No, we're still here. We're still here. So.
There's still like an hour.
You know, I'm gonna predict 55 minutes. There's 55 minutes left. Editor, cut out any extra footage past 55 minutes.
Editor, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Fact check him.
How about let's just get into this topic. I think you guys are pretty good at it. Design. You two design a lot of stuff. Alyssa literally does it for a job. Hallie designs a lot of characters.
So true.
Yeah, you know, we
It's
got
her
the
passion.
the hobbyist and the passionist.
Nope.
All right. And I'm here because I'm the host, and I also like designing characters. Maybe not as much as them. I don't have an artistic bone in my body, but I like color theory.
Color theory.
Yeah, come on, everyone knows about color theory.
I
What are
don't.
the primary
Red.
colors on the color
Is
wheel?
that color theory?
I
But
think I know
color
this.
theory
That's
is.
brown,
No.
purple, and
Stop talking.
maroon.
Stop talking. Maroon?
Maroon?
Maroon 5?
No.
It's Maroon 5.
Maroon 5?
Almost started singing Weezer for some reason.
We don't talk about Maroon
I got
5.
a question. You know, I got a question. It's been a while since I asked a question, and I got an itch to do it. So, I gotta ask you guys, what makes a good character design?
What
Who you
makes
asking?
a
Lots of
character?
characters. You guys just, you're the only two here in this room.
Well, yeah, which one are you at? It's
It's
almost like we shouldn't talk over each other. Like,
sorry guys, it's been 2 weeks. I forgot. We'll start with Alyssa. What makes a good character design?
what the fuck?
What makes a good character design? I don't think there should be a standard on a good design. It's if you think a design or an idea is cool, then there you fucking go. If you're passionate about the thing that you're making and putting into the world, the campaign, even in general, in life, I don't fucking know, then yeah, my thought process went the fuck away because I started ranting and trying to be like spiritual and life lessons.
Life lessons with Alyssa. Passionate about everything you do.
Be passionate about everything you do and create.
Editor, can you put that in the 10 tenets of Alyssa?
Be passionate.
Number 1, be passionate about everything you do.
Be passionate about the things you put into the world. I hope he does a close up on my face with holy rings when I do
I can agree with that. No bad character design, but I think there's certain aspects of character design that definitely elevate it. Like, well, in your opinion, when you see a character, like what sets them aside from like the civilians that are just like walking down, the peasants walking down the street?
Peasants.
Now take Baldur's Gate for example. How does
the NPCs.
like fucking Ketheric Thorm's design set him aside from like fucking
Okay.
like Kaga? Like
Well,
Kaga.
like, that's obvious.
That's
but
comparing
that's the thing, it's
apples to
what-
oranges.
But that's
Like,
the thing. It's like
commoners are dressed
what-
like common peasants. And then you're
Yes.
dressed to the nines because you're from Baldur's Gate, bro.
Baldur's Gate.
and there's things that set these you know spectacles aside from the normal folk, right? And what do you guys think that it kind of is?
The
don't know.
And so it starts.
Like-
you know what? This episode might make it to the 2-hour mark, guys.
I don't know, like colored fucking leathers, studded leathers,
Yeah,
silks.
I
I
think
don't know.
when a
depends
character's
on the...
personality is expressed physically through outfits and such is a good way to differentiate
Demonstrate?
between the common folk. That sounds really bad.
No, it's okay.
Common folk.
That's what they're called. That's what they're called.
Sorry to any commoners listening to this podcast right now. You and your 5 HP can go away.
We in with
Damn.
you.
We have
in with
wizards.
ya.
We have
no one's
wizards
a
with
com-
higher HP than
They're
you.
leveling up with us. They're
I'm not
there
talking
yet.
I'm not talking to our party members. I'm talking to the commoners that somehow
To lesser
this
than.
party. Yeah.
We accept everyone here at SideQuest. Don't listen to
Ugh.
them.
Peasantry.
You know what? You're right. Commoners cannot make it into the side quest anyways.
Damn.
So they're all-
we welcome
They're
everyone
not
with
peasants.
open
For
arms.
those at home that aren't too savvy with D&D, we're talking about the CR0 monsters, commoners. We're not doing any political commentary right now.
I think they know if they're watching SideQuest, a
Maybe.
podcast based on D&D.
You're right.
If you're new
The
here,
people-
then hi, hello.
That's true.
Welcome to
If you're
SideQuest.
new here, this isn't the full party, but just know you're welcome to join us and
This is
walk
probably
alongside.
going
Get
to be
some
the most
XP.
chaotic
Yeah,
You're-
this'll
you're-
ever going to listen to.
be the last time you just see Alyssa and I alone.
Maybe, I don't know. The Mage Tribunal might force us to do this again.
They
You
did
never
run
know.
an idea by me where I'm not even here, and it's just you two, and you gotta sort it out.
That'll be a load of nothing.
No,
Just
it would
be us
just be
in
us
there.
like
No, they'll
thirst-trapping
provide you with
about, like,
questions.
Baldur's
That's
Gate
true.
characters.
We'll be on our phone for like 20 minutes in between, and then like, ah! Oh my god, Alyssa!
Well,
Gale!
Speaking of, oh my god, Alyssa, maybe not so much Gale. Let's get back to the question at hand: the good character design. So you're kind of saying when their personality is displayed through visual storytelling. Let's take. Excuse me, I just burped.
Jeez, editor,
take,
keep that burp in. Enhance the
Editor-
burp.
Editor, put the burp and make it look like Alyssa did it.
Right there.
What the fuck?
Let's take like Ketheric Thorm for example. People who haven't played Baldur's Gate. Let's just put a picture of Ketheric Thorm up for you. That's him. That's crazy. And you can kind of tell he's been through some trouble. Yeah, somewhere around here. I don't
Somewhere.
really know where I'm going to be on the screen, but the editor will. He'll. You know what, editor?
Somewhere.
Take a freeze frame of me going. And then put Ketheric Thorm wherever. Yeah. You can definitely tell he's been through a little bit. The rib cage, Kyrus chest plate, kind of demonstrates the fact that this motherfucker is kind of dead inside.
Does it?
Yeah, that's what I took away from it.
Oh, I just thought he
He
was
has
wearing
a rib-
breastplate.
He has a rib cage chest piece.
And,
He's
like,
so
a teeth
freaking
co-
emo.
and, like-
He's
and,
so.
like,
Is that what it is? I've
Yeah, and
never
teeth-
noticed that.
And teeth coming up
No.
around his neck. It's
Oh.
like there's a monster that protects him, but also is consuming him.
No,
You
I
can
just
always
I
get
just
a
looked
feel
at
for
Ketheric
yourself.
Thorm.
Fucking
But-
god.
I
want to hear. I want to hear from
Merkel.
you, Halia,
Well, I was,
about this
I was,
question.
I was going.
Well, we got a question to answer.
I
Not
know.
here to
I was
talk about-
answering
not
the
here-
question.
I'm not here to talk about Baldur's Gate. What do you think?
You
needs to
brought
get-
it up.
He
What do you,
did.
hey, and I can recognize that we need to get back on track. So let's
Don't be blaming
reel it
me.
back in. I'm not blaming you. Anyways, stop being so argumentative and answer the question. How about that? Know your place, answery.
Jeez.
The questioner,
Okay.
questionnaire is talking. Okay.
I mean, yeah, all of what Alyssa said. Yeah, literally everything she said. I was like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So
What I
Editor?
was gonna say.
Put some
that's what I
clown
was
makeup
gonna
on me.
say. Huh? What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, you know what then?
You have
If you
nothing to
kinda have the
add
same
on to what I
stance,
said?
Nothing to.
Maybe in your own words? No? Maybe?
Cool outfit.
There you go.
All right,
Make
all right.
fun
Well,
character.
maybe you know what? It's teamwork. It's teamwork. Let's answer the first part. Let's answer the second part. Do you think good lore helps with the design of a character?
Did you say
I mean,
me?
Nope, Halia.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I think it depends, I guess. Because, like, I guess if you're like a sweet character, and like in lore and backstory, you're a sweet character, you're gonna probably not dress like, Orin from Baldur's Gate. Fuck you, I'm bringing it back. um, and if you're a messed up character, you're not gonna dress like Alfira from Baldur's Gate. I'm making every reference now to Baldur's Gate.
Welcome
So,
to the Baldur's Gate episode.
so I mean, I guess it does a little bit.
If it gets the answer in the question, I'll take it.
There you go.
Okay.
So your kind of standpoint is good lore does help with the character design.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it depends on who's making the character. But, yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't know how to answer that.
it's your opinion, so I just need you to state your opinion, right? That's it.
How
Anyway.
about for you, Halia? Does lore matter when you make a character?
Not really.
There you go.
Not really. I just have an idea of how I want their personality to be. And I'm like, okay, this is what they're wearing. These are the vibes I'm going for. That's it. That's what they're wearing.
What was that face you just made?
Editor's gonna take it out.
Ryan hates
No.
me. This is what we've
No,
got.
I was yawning.
Yeah,
It looked like it
I'm
looked
so
like I ate
boring.
Like a sour plum. It looked like I ate a sour plum. And... Editor, take it out, please.
No, leave it in. Leave it in.
No, editor,
Keep
you
it
make
in.
me look like a fool a lot of the time, but this
Keep it in.
time, don't.
Keep it in.
Leave it in.
Oh, Alyssa. Okay, anyways, Alyssa,
Me.
do you have a different answer? Good lore. Does good lore help with character design?
When you originally said this question, I thought you were talking about like book as written lore to like races.
That
Or do you just need
any,
backgrounds?
any way that you could think about it. Like, let's say a DM gave you like, hey, here's where you like, this is where you're from. Here's kind of the lore of the place and maybe some design aspect. It could be, or it could just be like backstory. Maybe the backstory is help the character. Because character design doesn't just mean like outfits. It means like how they wear their hair, if they have any scars. What kind of physical attributes are in their design. So good backstory. Does it help the character design, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
It depends for me. I've definitely had characters that do and characters that don't. I feel like more has been on the don't side. Really only one is coming up on my head that has related to something a DM said about their story. But yeah, I don't think it matters too much as long as it doesn't hurt the DM's toes when you're pitching the idea to them. Like, as long as it's not like too fucking crazy and out of the box where they're like, I don't know how to fit you into this campaign.
How?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Because I've definitely had those character ideas, but I strangely was allowed to do them.
I used to do it all the time. I've had characters whose designs are just like, what? Why do you how what the like?
Yeah.
I
had a
personally
big
think.
character idea. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you got a big character idea.
I had a big character idea for Noah's homebrew that I didn't think he was going to allow, but he did.
Oh, is it your character now?
It is my character now, Ash. That's her name, right? Ash.
Mhm.
Their name.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's been a while.
I thought it was
since we-
Alia.
That was my old character. She didn't last long because I fucking hated playing that character, and I also went on a side quest.
Yeah.
You
That's
also
what
went
I
on a
done.
side quest. That's true.
That's okay.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of funky character designs as well. I think I talked about it a little while ago. I had a character who didn't have a body. He was just like floating clothes. So I'm there
pretty
with
much
you with weird
I
character
pretty much
design.
introduced the the Phoenix into Noah's campaign.
That's
Just
so
being like,
true.
Can I can I please? And he was like, yeah.
Pretty please.
Yeah,
Sure.
Noah just like lets really cool shit go. That's fun.
Yeah. That's true. Noah's a great
Well,
DM.
that's true. No one's disputing that fact. Well, my answer to this question, I think, what makes good character design, I think when you can tell that there's certain attributes about them. Like, I'm very simple when it comes to it. Like a guy with big muscles, he's strong. That's good character design. Good way to display his attributes. A guy who's really smart, wears glasses, got like a robe on in a book. There you go. He's smart. That's good character design. Something that gets the idea of the character across in a good fashion. Beautiful. Holier than thou knight. Maybe he's got like a winged helmet, silver armor, big golden cape. Cool.
Great.
And I
That's
think
when you find out he's a necromancer.
he's a necromancer. See, now that's where I'm like, that's not bad character design. It's what is it?
Misleading.
Misleading character design, which is also good character design. You
Yeah.
want them to be like, oh, trust me, and then they come back and they're like, ooh, I'm
That's
evil.
fun
I
concept.
love tricking the players.
Yeah, and I think good character design kind of is either something that really helps hide a character's true motives and there's misdirection, or something that's just you can tell who they are based on how they look. Maybe
Yeah.
not to the full extent. You're like, this character's a swordsman because he's got a good fucking sword. This character's a wizard because he's got a big ass scroll. Like that, it's just getting the idea of a character across through design, I think, is what makes good character design. Not to say that if a character you can't tell what they are, maybe that's just in my opinion, if you can tell what a character is all about, it's super cool.
Sure.
And I definitely think lore helps with character design a fuck ton. I don't really get it a lot in
Different
like other people's
opinion?
campaigns, where like people don't write down like, here's how this people from this place dress. People in the West dress like they're, I don't fucking know, like Victorian England. People in the East wear kimonos. Like that's kind of like I have no fucking clue. No one really does that. I like doing that for my campaigns though. Being like, here's how the architecture looks. Here's kind of like how they dress. Here's their culture. Because I think a beautiful aspect of life and also Dungeons and Dragons is the culture of things. I love different cultures, and I love different cultures in game. But I feel like so many times DMs don't really think about it because they're like, maybe it's just the entire place is the same culture, or they're like, I'm just going to focus on the story. But I think culture is a very important part of D&D stories because it's a world and it's lived in, and not everyone's kind of the same. And I think it's super important. And from what I remember, DMs they're not really like, here's how, people from this place would dress. You make the character, you dress them how you want. DM doesn't really say anything about it.
Yeah.
And then you'll meet people from that place and they'll be like, oh, I don't look anything like them. What an odd, kooky mishap. So, I think good lore really helps with character design. And if you're a DM out there, if you want to spice up a campaign and character creation for players, I don't know, maybe not every player will like it, but if you send them a message and you're like, you're from the mountains, here's a little tidbit about, maybe here's how they wear their hair. Maybe they wear it in braids. Maybe they
I
wear
don't think
furs.
it's necessarily a bad thing though. If
Pinterest boards.
Pinterest boards.
Pinterest boards.
I don't think it's a bad thing if you don't have it. I just think it helps a lot with
Yeah.
character design.
Sure.
And I think it can lead to some really good character design. Because sure, having like complete free reign, lots of creativity there. But when you add these restrictions, these arbitrary restrictions of like, they wear a lot of blues, or, they wear a lot of robes, that adds like, how am I going to set my character to be unique in a sea of like people who wear similar clothing? And I think restrictions breed extra creativity, surprisingly. I feel like if you have too much creativity, sometimes you get stagnant. And you're like, I don't really know what to do. But yeah, enough yapping from me. I think talking about blues has got me thinking a little bit about fantasy. And I'm kind of curious of what colors come to your mind when you think of fantasy. And I'm just going to start us off. I think a lot of green.
I'm
Speaking of
yapping too
green-
much. I'm going to answer
Yeah.
this question.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it quick because I'm gonna make it quick. I think of green.
You just
like a forest.
love yapping.
I love yapping. You know me.
Yappuccino.
I think of like a forest green. You know, a nice earthy green. Not like what I'm wearing. This is like
That's like a hunter green.
muddy
Yeah.
green.
Yeah.
And for the record, people, I've worn this hoodie twice. I know you can see the camo on the inside. I do not wear camo. I'm not one of those people. I promise. It's just comfy and it's cold in my room.
no one
So-
noticed
just
that
in case.
Until
just
until
in
you
case.
said that.
Hey,
Now
I
they're
wanna-
just gonna look at that.
put it on your
Like-
bingo board. Put it on your bingo board. Ryan is not.
He does
redneck.
not wear camo.
He does not wear camo. He does not drive a truck.
He does not.
But what he
part
does
his
do is
hair on
ask
the
questions, and I would like to hear from Halia. What colors come to your mind when you think of fantasy?
Well, when I first read that question that you had, I was like, "Oh, orchid purple."
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it did.
Purple.
I can't think of like anything in fantasy that's like purple, but like I'm sure there is some stuff. But
Just like when you think of fantasy, it's purple.
yeah,
It's purple. You know what? That's a good
Well-
question. People at home listening in, Michael specifically, maybe. I know, hey, I love reading your comments. I love reading comments in general. Maybe the people listening to it. I've seen some people subscribe. Please leave a comment. It could be anything. I'll read it. I'll smile. And
Even
if
if you're
it's-
just
if
saying
it's-
hi.
Yeah, and if you say hi, guess what? You're gonna get a message back, and you're probably gonna get a shout out next episode. So, actually, speaking of which, there is someone else that commented, and I want to say thank you very much. But for now,
We should
Scotty
do
Joe
the-
podcast. Scotty Joe podcast. I want to know your answer. What do you think of when you think of fantasy? What color? It'll be really embarrassing if he doesn't comment.
Maybe.
But you think of purple.
Mm.
And you think of fantasy. And that's a good color. Purple's a good color. How about you, Alyssa? Is that even your real name?
Alyssa.
What's your
I'm pretty
color?
sure
What color comes to your mind?
I'm pretty sure that's the name I was given.
You're wrong.
Shit. To be honest, there's no one color that comes to my mind. It's just kind of like a sea of bright and vibrant colors, like the rainbow.
The rainbow.
The rainbow comes to my mind cuz yeah, fantasy is very bright, and can be a very cheerful atmosphere. Unless it's not. But
Unless it's not. Thanks, Shrod.
yeah,
We love Strut.
we love Strahd.
Even to an extent, you know what? I'll say it. Even to an extent, like Holmes End is kind of fantasy. Listen to the episode and find out more.
True.
And when I think of Holmes End, I think of like a very, very dark, muted blue. But
Interesting.
you think of a rainbow.
Yeah, if we're doing the broad term of fantasy, then it would be a rainbow of vibrant colors. If we went like campaign to campaign or even character to character. Side tangent. Almost all of my characters are like have a color scheme. Like 2 to 3 colors that I associate with those characters.
A color palette.
A color palette.
One would say a palette, yes.
A color palette.
See, I know a little bit about design. I know about color palettes.
Like
Quote
Aurea
me on
is
that.
gold and purple. Emmy is blue and metallics because she's a robot. Like, so I guess in that way, fantasy can be whatever color you want it to be.
It's just like real life.
Just like real life.
So true.
Be who you
You
want
want to be green? Be green.
You want to be green? Be any color in the rainbow, and you'll get support. Because there's people out there that also like those colors. So that's an allegory. Read into it. Well, do those colors often have like objects tied to them? Like for me, when I think of like green, I'm obviously thinking of like a forest. I'll just say it. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I think of a forest. in like a path in like a skyline behind it. Because when I think of green, I think of like a magical enchanted forest, and when I think of fantasy, kind of the classic D&D, like this place is called fucking Ballinwood. That's where the elves go to ball, and you're like, oh, that's so sick. And you're like walking down the path, and you see the big ass green trees, the vibrant, like almost gold brown fucking like bark, the blue sky above head, and then maybe you see fucking, I can't think of a pun for Shaquille O'Neal. You just see Shaquille O'Neal dunking. All right, like
What?
Why?
I was saying Ballinwood. I was trying to think of some kind of like bit to go off of, but I don't know. I love you, Shaq.
He's not watching.
Hey, you never know.
Maybe.
A lot of people watch. A lot of people from the U.S. watch. It could be Shaquille O'Neal.
If anyone were to watch, it would be Henry Cavill.
No, listen. Shaquille O'Neal, I know you're out there. I know you're listening to this. Say hello. Maybe privately message us.
Say
You're reaching
hello.
for the stars.
It would
there.
make my life. It would make my life, honestly.
You're reaching for the stars, man.
Please.
He really is.
Shaquille O'Neal, please. Well, anyways, speaking of he really is, the person who said that, Halia, do you have any objects tied to the color purple when you think of fantasy?
No, not really. But earlier, before we actually started the podcast, we were online with one of our other friends, and she said purple worms. I was like,
So
that's
true.
right. You're so true.
Who doesn't like a
So
good
true.
purple worm?
Me? Gross.
They're
There's
big,
probably a purple dragon
squirmy,
out there, or a purple
poisonous.
orb.
Probably.
purple dragons,
There's
amethyst
probably
dragons,
like fairy
exist,
dragons, right?
Also,
Yeah.
amethyst dragons and Fizbins, treasury of the dragon horde, or
Oh
dragons.
yeah,
treasury of
amethyst dragons. Alright.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if it's purple, but like psychic damage. I imagine to be like
Yeah.
a purplish pink.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
true. That is real.
When I think
too.
of when I think
Oh,
of
and like
purple tied to
royal,
fantasy,
royal people. There's royal purple. There's like a
Yeah.
I think of mind flayers.
probably a big thing. Oh yeah,
Or mind flares.
I forgot
Well,
about mind flayers. Like 5
Dude, purple
minutes.
has so many things in fantasy that like are tied to it. Poison, psychic damage,
Poison. I think
dragons.
of green.
elves.
That's acid. Acid's
Yeah,
green.
poison and acid to me are like different shades of green.
Yeah.
I think of purple poison
Purple
because it's
poison.
yummier. Yummy.
Really? No way.
Yes. Well, Alyssa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
the ball's in your court in Ballinwood. So
Stop
wanna-
talking about it.
I don't wanna be there. I don't
Shaquille
wanna be
O'Neal is not coming.
editor, please make the thumbnail Ballinwood, please.
No.
Have a slow fade in of Shaquille O'Neal.
Put Shaquille
Just
O'Neal behind.
replace Ryan's webcam with Shaquille
Put Shaquille O'Neal behind Alyssa somewhere in the episode. Whoever timestamps Shaquille O'Neal, will I don't know. I will show you out and
You'll
I'll
get
subscribe
extra
to you.
XP.
I'll subscribe to you personally on my account. Timestamp Shaquille O'Neal. I'll subscribe to you.
Michael.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Michael.
Alyssa, do you have any objects tied to the rainbow? Or, like, what are the main objects with colors tied to them that you think of when you think of fantasy?
Well, for rainbow, I know this isn't technically a rainbow, but I think of the Feywild when I think of rainbow fantasy.
True.
Because the Feywild is just fucking crazy. The Feywild is, like, I imagine it filled with, like, colors. It's kind of like, I kind of picture the Feywild as, like, Alice in Wonderland. With, like, all
So
the fucking
true.
shit everywhere. All the
Yeah.
colors and weird creatures. So I guess
Oh,
that's
God.
what comes to mind when I think of rainbow fantasy. But yeah, there's a lot of things in in fantasy that relates to colors. You know, dragons are usually red. Mystical orbs are usually like blue. And like, you know, and then it can relate to like the elements too, with like water is blue and fire is red.
Are you okay? What are you laughing at?
I'm looking at the question that I written down. I was looking at the examples I gave, and also a red dragon, a blue orb. And then you're like, water is blue.
Water is blue.
I
Water
agree.
is blue.
Water is
Unless
blue.
it's not, then don't go in that
True.
water.
That's
If it's
true.
not, that's your one-way ticket to the hospital. Get a day off work. Drink some of it.
Yeah.
We don't encourage
Don't
people to
actually drink some of it,
go
but if you want a day off work,
in
drink some
dirty
river water.
Please
Don't
don't
do
do
that.
that.
Drink out of a puddle.
Don't do that.
Well, speaking of puddles, I find that a lot of processes for design are kind of like puddles. You start with a single idea. Maybe you're like, I want to make no. Ripple. So ripple. So I'm kind of curious what your guys' design process is. We'll start with Halia. I see you make characters all the time. I kind of want to know what your process is when you think of like without sharing too many details, but your character from an X campaign. How did that design process start?
I actually don't remember how I came up with
Damn.
her. But I think I was listening to a song and I was like, "Oh, this would be so cool." No, well, it was also a mix of that, and because I remember you said something about your campaign being like dark and sort of gothic-y in a way, or at least in some places. So I was like,
Yeah.
well,
I do not know that.
it's my time to shine. So she came about, and then I found more songs, more like references on like Pinterest. And that's really how she formed.
Is that kind of akin to the rest of the characters you design? Is that how the design process kind of goes always, or do you have like multiple processes that you use?
It's about the same usually. If it's not as
Jesus Christ.
oh my god,
I'm
I thought you were just like coming into the camera. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Editor, add a
Ow.
jump scare warning.
So true. Add the Freddy Fazbear noise.
Add
But yeah,
add
if
a
it's
Freddy jump scare.
so true. If it's not a song or a picture, it's a scene in a movie or a show. Or sometimes it's like other people's characters, which I feel awful about. But like sometimes I see some. Anyway, sometimes I see
Ignore him.
something or I hear something in someone else's character, and I'm like, oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, didn't you
Oh my
base a character
God.
off Bianca?
Yeah. It was
I don't care. I think that's
essentially
cool.
she was essentially the exact same thing, but like
Yeah, that's
a
okay.
different story, and I
You
felt
were a different
kind of
class
bad.
though, and your
Yeah,
backstory
she-
was
yeah.
different. So
Yeah,
Different
but
enough.
same general undead because of frostbite.
yeah. And then
Hey Jane! Hey Jane!
What?
Rock.
Rock!
And then there was Skyrit where you one of our other friends and Noah all make characters related to my
Oh.
backstory.
Okay,
And
see
that was
that
the
one.
Coolest shit ever.
That one was really, really like it was miraculous how that happened. Because I just started D&D and I looked up tieflings because I was like, oh, demon folk.
Damn.
And then I read about the Red Wizards in the Forgotten
Realm.
Realms. Shut up. Forgotten Realms thing. And I was like, oh, this would be cool. Like a kidnapped person trying to get home. And then I was like, Red Wizards, Jonas, write it down.
Write it down.
And then come to find out, I was
It
not
already
unique.
exists.
I was not unique in that field.
Don't
So,
worry.
For context. Oh.
It
I
was
was
really
gonna
cool
say
though.
backstory trickle down economics in that campaign. My backstory trickled down to Alyssa's. Her backstory trickled down to you guys.
Yeah. For context.
Unintentionally.
Ordelia was my character in Skyrit.
Picture of Ordelia.
Picture. She was a wild magic sorcerer, and she pretty much got her powers from the Red Wizards pretty much injecting her with magic. And it physically drained her, and this was a whole, like, organization they were doing. They did this to a crap load of people. Happened to be Halia's character, our friend Hannah's character, and Noah's character that all ended up happening and being related to this. And yeah, Ordelia had an overload of power, and she blew up the facility, leading to all these people escaping. So that's kind of how, I guess, it makes sense how you guys came to be. And as a player who kind of made that backstory and seeing you guys taking your own spin on it, it was satisfying. It was so cool.
It was a really cool little not inconvenience, but like little
Coincidence.
Coincidence. That's the word I'm looking for. Huh.
Yeah, it would have been fun to explore that more, but
Oh, I know, but
Well,
Blood Rain.
I forgot that we were talking about questions here. Alyssa, you talked a lot about your character. I want to know what your design process is for these characters. How does it go?
It depends. Usually it starts by me wanting to play a certain race or class idea, or sometimes I'm just fucking around in Hero Forge and just creating shit and seeing what sticks. So really the process is no process and just fucking winging it.
just fooling.
Yeah, I used to. He's gone.
he's
He's gone.
I'm gonna drop my pen.
Right.
Helps me feel professional.
He's totally writing down our answers. Totally.
Absolutely.
I am.
Not.
It's going into your therapy. I'm gonna talk to your therapist about this.
No, we gotta save that for Homesend.
True.
This whole
That's
podcast is
some
me.
therapy.
This whole podcast is me just trying to catch you guys lacking.
Huh?
What the fuck?
Us lacking. Anyway.
Anyways, I kind of forget the tangent I was going on.
You were
but-
talking about seeing what sticks in Hero Forge.
Yeah, I pretty much go in, play with things. That's how Emmy came to be. I was like, ooh,
Really?
Warforge. I want to play Warforge. And then I made a Warforge in Hero Forge. And then Jonas was running us down his campaign, and I was like, I got it. And then, yeah, Emmy was born that day.
Oh my god.
Totally different than she is now, but the starting concept of Emmy was birthed.
First draft.
Okay.
True.
I kind of have
Emmy
a.
was supposed to be totally different than she came to be, which is crazy.
Really?
Emmy, when I first made Emmy and I first designed her in Hero Forge,
Mm-hmm.
I imagined her being a lot older and motherly.
Oh.
So, but this was way before the name Emmy existed and backstory existed.
Yeah.
Just the original concept in my head was a motherly Warforge.
Aww.
And that Did not happen. Maybe one day that concept will turn into something else.
Would definitely be cool.
But yeah, now Emmy is a little girl,
A wee babe.
a wee babe, a little 7-year-old in a big body. So it's
With
fun.
sharp
It's
tools.
fun playing with a design concept and then seeing how it molds and shifts based off what the DM tells you.
The ripple.
The ripple.
Yeah, my design process is kind of I pick a class and race, and then I fucking go into Hero Forge or something like that, and
Fair
I'm
enough.
like, I'm gonna just slap some stuff on there and color him in. There he is. There we go. Or if there's something that can't be done, because I've been running my campaign, I've been designing characters for it. Yesterday I was like, you know what? This fucking guard for this smith plate, like this forge, is just gonna be fucking wild looking. And I was like, he's gonna have a crimson red bag on his head with a black chain that wraps all around it. And why the fuck not? So my character design now is kind of just fucking. I'm gonna put a bag on his head and then chain it to his head. like
Okay, Sabbath.
I'm just I don't really I'm like, you know what, that could be cool.
Editor, put the first Hero Forge of Sabbath so you understand the joke.
Put the Sabbath Jack on there, please.
Unless you're an audio listener, then
If you're an
Sabbath
audio listener.
is a character that had a metal helmet stuck to his head for a long while.
With maggot glue.
Sovereign glue. For those that don't know what sovereign glue is a glue that cannot be removed except for a wish spell or a universal solvent. And that guy got a helmet glued to his head, so he couldn't take it off. And he tried to take it off, but it was glued like down around his neck. So it was like he tried to, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut my fucking throat if I do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Let's keep the helmet on." And when he took it off, it was really, really gross. Hair was greasy and matted, a big ass, gross ass beard.
Yeah.
He took helmet stays on as a challenge.
It was a little bit too much, if you ask me.
Helmet stays on during SAG.
Well, you guys already answered that part of the question, so we can just skip by it. For me, it's outside of references. Does anything else affect the way you design a character? If I watch something, let's say I recently rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was like, I want to make a monk. Duh. And I was like, I'm gonna give him some tattoos and a bald head. Not literally like a head tattoo, but I was like, I'm gonna give him some tattoos around his body and a bald ass head.
There.
So obviously, just like media influences the way I design characters, especially like if I get into like a habit of playing like Elden Ring over again. I see armor in there, and I'm like, that's cooked.
Yeah.
That's cooking.
I can name at least 2 characters that I've made that has been based loosely or heavily off video games and media.
Well, speaking of those kind of characters, and then
Maybe 2.5.
What is your favorite kind of character to design? You know, is it like people who like designing casters? People like designing like monstrous races. I love me some bugbears. What's your favorite kind of character to design?
Do you want to go, Halia, or do you want me to go?
You can go if you want.
Okay. Race-wise, I love making tieflings and I love making ASMRs. The two opposite
The
spectrums.
Angle and the Devil.
My favorite.
I want to play more ASMRs, man. I love ASMRs.
There
they're one of
is
my
a
favorite
chance,
races.
if my campaign ends very poorly, there's a chance you'll get the opportunity to play a super fucking strong ASMR. Yeah. Let's just say if you guys fail, it won't end, like in my next campaign, if you fail, it won't end too well. And some heavenly, divine intervention may have to come into play.
Rhea?
Marber?
She died. Or did she? For those who are confused, Rhea was a ASMR barbarian that I played in Icewind Dale, take 3. She was a big tough barbarian. She was the embodiment of radiance. And she had a funny accent, and I loved playing her. And then she got a fucking
Yo.
rock.
Hey Rhea.
What?
Rock.
Rock.
By the way, editor, if you can
love-
find a rock gif, have a rock crush their
I
heads.
love
Yeah,
with
every
it.
time we make that,
Portrait.
every time we make that joke, please have a rock like thunking us in the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going
Oh,
forward
Yeah.
from this episode forward, remember.
Start at this episode.
Remember.
Start on last episode, honestly. But what were you saying, Alia?
I loved the party for Icewind Dale Point 3, except for someone, but it's okay.
Someone.
Cypress.
I mean,
Bro went out of their way to be like, oh, please, come kill us.
liar.
That was the funniest bit from Cypress.
I like the concept, but
Mhm.
being my character having to interact with that character, I was like, bro, no. But
Yeah.
as someone sitting at the table, I was like, this is a fun idea. And I get
It's definitely
it.
a cool idea. It's just the fact that we almost died like twice.
And then we did that.
Well,
Yeah.
let's reel back in. Got to restock the bait on my fishing line.
Jingle,
Just
jingle.
if you have any finishing thoughts to that answer, Alyssa, about what your favorite kind of character design is. Tieflings, Azmars.
Tiefling, ASMRs, yeah.
So like a
Um,
character archetype specifically.
Archetype? Like class.
So like, you know, like the caster,
I feel like casters have a more. There's more creativity of how you can make them. Like what they can be wearing, because they're usually like not heavily armored, so you don't have like armor in the way. I like having casters in like dresses and like pretty stuff. So, yeah, you have more creativity with a caster, in my opinion. Not to say you can't with melee classes.
You want to know what? I think next time you design a melee class, you shouldn't think of the armor as in the way.
True.
Something else to design.
True.
And that's why I love martial classes so much. I love armor.
I love armor.
I love armor.
I just hate drawing armor.
Yeah.
Well,
armor is annoying.
Speaking of what you
That
hate,
frustrates
how
me.
about something that you love? What's your favorite kind of character to design? Mrs.
I mean-
Pringle Muncher?
Can I help you?
Why you gotta use the
judging
word muncher?
I'm just jealous.
I wish
I don't
I
have
had
any
Well,
Pringles.
there's some down here if you want some.
I don't have
But I don't.
Answer your question.
You'll see him in a minute. But like I don't know, just like I don't really think of that. I could actually go count how many casters I have drawn, but I prefer drawing characters like that don't really involve a bunch. He took my Pringle.
rude.
You're so mean. But I don't really have like a specific class that I enjoy drawing.
Sure.
But I guess casters, druids, and maybe rogues, cuz they're like they're pretty simple in what they wear.
Yeah.
Like robes for like wizards and sorcerers.
He grabbed his own Pringle can.
Yeah, he
That
did.
little fucker.
Like sorcerers, wizards are in like robes, flowy dresses,
Yeah.
or flowy whatever. Druids are in like bark, hide, or like leafy green stuff.
Sure.
Then there's like melee. They're kind of like specifically fighters. I don't like drawing armor, like I said,
Yeah.
but I honestly really like drawing barbarian.
Barbarians
Like
are fun.
yeah, because they're like tribal people in my brain, like at all times. So it's really
Sometimes
fun to
they can
do
be.
like that. Yeah, so it's like really fun to do that like little tribal flair to whatever they're wearing, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just fun. I haven't drawn a lot of barbarians, but the ones that I've drawn, I really enjoy. So I guess like barbarians, sorcerers, and wizards and rogues are my
Anything.
favorite.
I just thought of something before we continue.
Mhm.
Um, characters that have like a unique like not I don't want to say like skin condition, but like some sort of like birthmark or something
Yeah.
on them that makes them stand out from a crowd are so fucking fun.
Hmm.
Like Belle, her skin was rotting. Love her. Bianca, frostbitten. Mel is fucked.
Bro, we gotta do that.
Briar. Lego.
Editor put
That's a
put
good
a
point,
picture
Alyssa.
of all the characters I just mentioned.
So
Except
true.
for Bianca, I don't have a picture for her.
Editor, you're free to do whatever you want. You don't have to.
Just every time you mention a picture, no, no,
No.
Tap
No.
dancing ensues.
No.
what?
Well,
Tap.
I
The editor
really,
the editor's dream is to tap dance. He had
I
a dream once.
really like designing martial classes because of their weapons.
Yeah.
You put especially if they're like a unique kind of weapon, you know,
True.
someone that uses like a whip. You
Or
could
a
have some
scythe.
cool whips.
I just
That's
hit
Scythe,
the
you
mic.
do it a cool scythe. Cool big sword. I love big swords so much. Listen to you people out there. You got a big sword you want to get rid of? Send them to me. Send them to me. I love big swords.
Don't actually send swords in the mail. I'm pretty
Please
sure that's
send me a
illegal.
big sword. I would love a big sword. Send me a big sword.
Might be
I really
illegal.
like the martial classes because of the armor. I love armor. I love weapons, and I think you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. And yeah, I really I also like monstrous races. I love bugbears. Bugbears are one of my favorite races to play, especially just because like they're
They're
just
so cute.
so underutilized. They're big, hairy, long-armed people that squeeze into
They look like
Little-
cows.
little. No, they don't. They're
In
really
my brain, they
bugbear.
do.
Well,
Oh wait, no. Who am I thinking of? Hobgoblins?
I don't know what you're thinking of, but you're not thinking of a bugbear.
Hold on.
Ain't
on.
no a bugbear look like a cow. Regardless,
A moment.
I really like martial classes, and I tend to stick to like humans, elves, half elves when I
Yeah.
make characters. But I really love monstrous races. Like, there's so many things that you can do.
I have a weird thing about monstrous like races. My brain can't do it.
It's hard to get into the monstrous race mindset. You're like, this isn't me.
Oh.
What if there isn't any other monstrous races here? But the last time I played a monstrous race was Thaven, and
Yeah.
Thaven was thug as fuck.
True.
So.
I
He's
was
also
thinking
an
of
asshole.
Furbolgs.
Well, we've got a lot of design talk under our belt, and I kind of want to know something, and maybe you two can answer it to the best of your capabilities. Or sorry, maybe you guys can answer it to the best of your capabilities. How do you think design affects a story? You know, what kind of elements of design do you think really impact a story and how it's told? I'll just start us off. I think design definitely impacts a story, not just in the foreground, the main storytelling, but background storytelling, where it's like, especially in like Lord of the Rings, when they go to Helm's Deep, there's a part of the wall, like you can tell the walls are finely carved, and people who are really good at stonemasonry have built this place. And there's a part of the wall that's broken that has been cobbled together with these stones, and you can tell that the Riders of Rohan repaired that because they don't live in stone houses. They live in these like wooden, like, I don't really know how to describe it. But that's a great way of design being introduced into the background storytelling. It's never mentioned explicitly, but you can see it. The fact that people who built this place were very, very educated in the art of stonemasonry, and the writers of Rohan aren't, and you can tell that via the design of the set. So what do you two think? How do you think design affects a story?
I had no clue where you were going with that.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about a character, not a wall.
That's what
So I was like, what?
I was
What are you
like,
talking about?
oh, because that, I don't know, for me that, Jesus Christ,
Bless you.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Editor, can you get rid of that?
No. Keep it in.
As you were saying, Alyssa.
Like that to me sounded like background storytelling.
Yep.
Rather
Yeah.
than design.
Character
Well, that's design. That's set design.
Sure. I guess it's a...
Because it's not even
of
stated in the
design.
books either. It's not like in the books where like you can tell that it's just something that the set designers put in there to affect the story. And you can kind of tell a little bit more about Rohan via that background storytelling. The set design impacted the way the story has been told.
Okay, so this question is about background design or just...
No, just design in general. It could be character design if you want it to be. I'm asking you how design affects a story in your opinion, if at all. Maybe it doesn't in your opinion.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't really think it does. I've never really thought of that, really, I guess. How the design would affect the storytelling aspect. But, I mean, it's kind of similar to what we talked about, like, the first question, about the lore. Because, like, those questions, I think, kind of go in tandem together. So,
Okay.
I don't really know how to answer that, personally, but...
Yeah, I'm pondering over here. The brain cogs are moving.
They're ticking.
I can
They're
yap
ticking.
a little bit more. I think design, not only just in set design, I think character design can really impact how a story is told. And I've done it myself with my previous homebrew campaign, where Larstreus, he wore this big ass gauntlet, and on one hand, and he didn't wear like shoes or anything else, so it was really out of place. And that design led you guys to be like, there's something up with this dude. There's something under that glove that isn't normal, and especially the fact that you could tell that he was kind of undead. That kind of led to you guys discovering the fact that he had the hand of Vecna. And that design choice led you guys to completely rewrite the entire story I had planned. Yeah.
Ryan will forever be salty about that.
I didn't know he had a gauntlet.
Yeah.
This was like one of the three mages, right, in Elturel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
He wore robes and a single gauntlet, and the rest he didn't even wear fucking shoes.
Hey, Gortash.
Guy had his freaking. This was around before
Lucky.
Gortash. Put some respect on my name.
I know. I was there. But yeah, I guess it can depend on like, I don't think it's a major thing, because if you have like, I'm trying to fucking answer this question.
You could literally just be like, it doesn't, and that's a respectable answer.
Because I think it can. I do think it can, but I don't think it's the biggest thing. Like what you said was right. That's a great way of character design and how it changed the story. But yeah, I can't really think of another instant of that.
Yeah, I can't either.
I feel like we've maybe as characters have added our own design elements that relate to story and that in that way. But yeah, I don't know. This is tricky.
Yeah, this is a strange question. I can't. Well, not a strange question, but like, I can't. My brain can't like figure out how to
How to phrase it.
how to think about
Yeah.
it. I'm like, how do I answer this?
Well, that's understandable. Sometimes it's just like design does not fucking matter. You could throw like 4 people that look crazy as fuck into a normal world, and you could just have a normal fucking story about these people like doing their daily lives, and it could just not impact the story.
Yeah.
But in some instances, I think design impacts not how a story necessarily unfolds. I think the what I mentioned with the Gauntlet kind of is like an outlier where it's like not every design choice is going to completely spiral a story into a different path.
I think it's a
But I
great
think
way
design-
to enhance a story.
Yeah, exactly. It adds on to story without having exposition and being like, the riders are Rohan, the people on horses, and they don't have stone mills. You can just be like, they repaired the wall in a shitty way. There you go, like in the background. There you go. And then
Yeah.
have the audience members that recognize that. They go like, they're bad with stones. Write it down and put it in the lore. So, I
Or
think
drop.
design definitely impacts story
Yeah.
in little tiny ways.
I think-
And sometimes one design choice you make will completely fucking rewrite your whole campaign. Be careful, DMs.
Maybe.
Be careful out there.
But yeah, I think in that way it's a great way to hint or enhance a story. Maybe add like a little side quest to a story, or yeah, just pre-notion. I feel like what's coming to my mind is like subtle character things that maybe our characters have had or like other characters have had. Like I'm thinking back to Ash, where she had her phoenix feather like on her
Yeah.
cape thing.
Yeah.
Like clipped to her cape, and that was a subtle way to tell you guys that feather probably means something. Maybe it relates to a bird. Maybe there's a phoenix. Oh shit, there's a phoenix.
Yeah. Wait till the next time we play that, and the fellow comes up and he's like, "Oh, it's a very nice feather."
Ted.
Well, anyways,
Ted.
I think
mean-
this has been pretty enlightening. This
Ellie had
podcast.
something to say.
You have something to say. I'd like you to finish your sentence.
I mean,
before I...
Alyssa said that, and I was like, I mean, I kind of did something similar that's not as obvious to anyone but me.
Oh,
So
mine
maybe-
wasn't obvious. You guys probably didn't pick up on it, but
Oh, okay. But
it's a subtle thing that, you know,
yeah,
relates to her backstory that maybe you do or don't see.
yeah.
Kinda where
I
I
did
was going
something.
with.
Yeah, I did something similar with Evelyn, where she had a rough, couple of years away from home. So she uses clothing to cover up some issues from a certain person because she doesn't want to talk about it. And it's never really been brought up because why would it?
I
But
don't
then
think you've mentioned it.
no, it was just a thing in case, like, because like the bathhouse episode, in case anyone was like around, and that never happened. So I was like, okay, this is fine. No one needs to know about it. But then
Or
she
maybe
kind
it
of
was.
got fixed.
Maybe it was mentioned to Hugo, but I don't think it's been like a party knowledge.
It was never shown. The closest thing was the like branded A on her shoulder. That was shown to
That's what-
Elzyrith.
Oh, it was Elzyrith. Got ya.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I got-
Hugo.
I got it mixed
Hugo
up.
didn't. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just
Doesn't matter.
it. That was a little thing that was gonna be
I've-
brought up, but it never happened. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, it won't now because we got completely fixed. So now
Yeah.
she has like nothing, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're all good.
Well-
You're all better.
We're all good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a little bit more blunt with it, especially you can tell with Sabbath. It's not like a subtle thing. The guy had a helmet glued to his head.
Yeah.
Well,
And anyone who
we
looked
didn't
at
know
it
it was
went,
glued.
"That guy did something bad."
We
He's
didn't
got
know
a
it was
prisoner helmet on
glued.
his head.
I
No,
didn't
but
know it
it's
was a
like
prison
that is a helmet put on like people who did really bad things, right?
No idea.
Well, anyways,
I'm
I
thinking
think
of
this has
Emmy's
been
eyes
quite,
too. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. I just want to yap, man.
dude.
Yap it up.
Yap it up.
Give us those
There's no
yappuccinos.
time limit.
Ever,
No time
ever,
limit. The editor might cut it all out and just cut to the end, but because what is it? Yeah, honestly, this stuff might not even make it to the podcast. This is past 55 minutes, and if you listen to me, then
he's not gonna.
it's just
listen
going to
you.
abruptly
He
end
doesn't-
when we're in the middle of
Don't
talking
listen
about.
to him, please, editor.
I don't think that editor
Please.
likes you.
I don't think the editor listens to me ever, so like we're in the clear.
But yeah, if we're talking about
y'all.
examples, I just thought another one of Emmy's eye. Emmy has a dim, kind of gray eye on one side, and then she has a bright blue eye. And that's where Emmy's soul resides. Emily is Emmy's human name when she was a human, and then now she's a robot. Anyways, big backstory, maybe for another day.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully. I don't want to
Hopefully.
talk about these characters so bad.
Dude,
maybe
you're
maybe we'll have a
No, but, like,
episode
more.
that's
You're
just
just-
this campaign, because we keep going back and forth. But
You're just like fucking. You're just like the animatronics from FNAF in that one end scene. The one glowing eye. And
What?
another. There's an end.
anyways,
Yeah, It's been good.
anyways,
having a new kind of
you keep cutting
refreshing
me off
cast.
when I'm not done my thought. But anyways,
Keep
whatever.
talking. Keep talking. Editor, the editor cut me out.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Pretty much to quickly continue my
You're not going to be able to
thought.
hear me talking because the editor's going to cut me out and there's going to be a black screen. So you keep talking. Right now it looks like you're looking at nothing.
There's someone in the walls. Sorry, I'm hearing things. Anyways, yeah, Emmy's soul.
Matt.
Emmy's soul lived in the blue eye that was, and yeah, it quickly turned into a backstory thing that the party kind of realized, and made her different from
The other Warforged.
other Warforges and robots. Jonas called it something that
Rigs.
wasn't Warforged.
Rigs.
There it is. That's the word, rigs. So, yeah.
I just thought it was her magic.
Nope. Well, I guess that's what you thought, like, originally, and then backstory grows and campaign grows and we learn, and then you realize these subtle little character things that you might have not realized turns into a bigger thing. So,
Yeah.
wow.
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 Ryan, I'll let you get
Wow.
back to your segue.
Well,
Yeah, the
actually, no.
Segue into the end of the episode because normally we got like two other people here
I know.
and it's less chaotic with maybe it's a little bit more depending on which way you look at it, but it's refreshing, people. Jeez.
Refreshing.
Next
Refreshing,
episode.
people.
Next episode of the Maid Tribunal is hearkened on to me to talk to Noah about world building because guess what? They're making their own world. So, yeah.
The Mage
they,
Tribunal is making their own world?
Yeah, well, you know, they visit the other realms and they're taking the ideas. They just want to know how to pit them all together, right?
Whoa.
Yo.
You got the
Yeah.
insider
Cool.
information.
Well, when you read the company emails, okay? They help.
I don't get the
You're the-
company emails.
You're the favorite lab rat.
I
You
won't
get all the
answer.
science pellets.
They don't see.
I won't expand upon that. I won't confirm or deny if I'm the favorite little guy.
They don't CC me on those emails.
I do. They're addressed to.
You're
At
reading her
yahoo.com.
emails?
Is that not your email?
No.
Oh fuck.
People, please don't email that.
We don't know whose email that is, but I've been forwarding the emails to it, and I kind of feel. well, I don't know what just happened, but anyways, yeah, I've been
The
emailing
Mage
the wrong
Tribunal
person.
heard us talking about them for too
Yeah,
long.
We gotta stop, bro. We
Can't
can't
leak,
talk
can't
about
leak the
them.
email. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us for episode 8 of SideQuest. 8 episodes?
Holy
Ooh.
shit. Crazy.
That's almost...
Bow.
That's like, what, 2 months? We've been doing this for 2 months already? Gosh. Thank you so much for accompanying us.
Not
And
yet.
I
Thank
wanna
you
s-
so much.
It hasn't been 2 months yet.
It's 8 episodes. It's 2 weeks. That's 8 weeks of content. That's 2 months. And you know what? I got a little something here. A little something here. I got to
You
update.
gotta be careful with that character sheet, man.
You do.
Ooh, where'd you get this? Who gave this to you? Oh, you picked it up. Okay. Well, anyways,
Why are you questioning them?
Yeah, how
I
dare
just-
you?
they have a volcanic rock in their inventory. We haven't been to a volcano yet.
That's so
It was just-
cool.
It was just confusing.
They
I was
went
just
on
They
asking.
went
Side
on
quest.
side
It
quest.
looks like one of you A has been to a volcano, and B
Was it you,
leveled
Michael?
up. Level
Let's
4
go.
now.
Ooh, level
Up your
4.
ability scores by 2 or take a feat. If you want my
Let's
recommendation, if you're con,
go.
maybe up your
Let
con
them
a little
pick.
bit.
Let them pick what they want in the comments.
Yeah.
I'm just recommending. Let us know what you up in the comments. Maybe you add a feat. Maybe you just give it to someone else. Who knows? I'll allow it. Whatever. We fuck around here. We have fun around here. Come on now.
We're so
Anyways.
quirky. He's not like other DMs.
I'm not like other DMs. And guess what? We thank you very much for joining us for episode 8 of SideQuest. Tune in next week at Monday, 7 o'clock as always. We'll see you there, I'm sure. You want to collect your XP, you want to collect the items that you may uncover, and you want to hear all about the world building that we'll be talking about. So be
Check
excited.
out Descent to Home's End.
Check out Descent to Home's End. Very mysterious little town with lots of mysteries and crevices that we've yet to explore. And especially this next episode is very, very exciting. So please join us there. The first episode is already out. The second episode is also out by now. And they're very intriguing. And episode 3 is also very interesting. So make sure you tune in as well. Friday at 7 p.m. We'll see you there. Be there, be square. So without further ado, enjoy the rest of your night, and we hope that you had a blast listening to us ramble on for the past hour. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.